What's up guys, Volt here, bringing you a brand new Fast and Furious car remake. In today's remake, I got a highly anticipated, highly requested build of the 1993 Honda Civic EJ1 from the Fast and the Furious. Everyone should know what this car is. I got so many requests for it, and it's pretty much the beginning car of the movie, of the very first movie, which is the Fast and the Furious. You see these three black Honda Civics with green neon going after a truck. You know, they have people jumping out of the sunroofs and stealing the truck, and one goes underneath the truck, and it was just an amazing scene, an iconic scene, and just so memorable. It was just crazy. And Rockstar apparently heard our pleas of wanting an actual Honda Civic in the game, and eventually they actually added one to the game. This is the Kanjo SJ, so thank you Rockstar for listening to the community. Now all we need is an Evo, a Skyline, and a Dodge Stealth or a 3000 GT. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the build. So we're going to go with the base price. So we're going to go to the internet. We're going to go to the travel and transport website. You want to go down to the Southern San Andreas Super Autos website. And you want to go down and you want to find the Dinka Kanjo SJ, part of the Criminal Enterprises DLC. So if you do have the trade price like I do, you're going to be paying a little bit more money, about $300,000 more or so. So it's roughly about $1,370,000 for the normal price for the car. If you had the trade price, which is unlocked through the LS Car Meet by unlocking it randomly through leveling up, which is about every 5 levels or so it should unlock. So I should say no more than level 50 in the car meet. You should get this unlocked if you don't already have it unlocked. It's going to be costing you $1,027,500. So really decent price for what we're going to be making out of this very iconic and very collectible car, that's for sure. So anyways, once you have your car and you have your color, meet us at the Los Santos car meet location. So anyways, let's not waste any more time. Let's go in and customize the beauty. So as we pull in, the Dinka Kanjo SJ is in the coupes category. That makes sense. It is a 2-door sports car, so based on the Honda Civic EJ1. So there you go. I think it turned out beautifully. I did change a few things from the original build I had, so you have to stick with me, and again, it's your choice what you want to do with that. As I go over in all my builds, I go over the overall look, the visual appearance, and the basic design of the car and how it's portrayed in the movie, game, or anywhere else in general itself. Anything I don't go over is completely up to you. I just put a few staples in on my build if you want to recreate my build, or take some things away from my build, you're more than welcome to, and just follow along with the video. So anyways, without further ado, let's get into the build. So to start things off, you want to go to bumpers, you want to go to the front bumper, and you want to put on the arc bumper. This bumper I think fits the best. It has that kind of like, you know, open grill area. As you can see, it has like the 3 spots there, and adding it with the splitter a little bit later on the video, it actually looks really close to the actual bumper from the actual movie. So that's why I went with the arc bumper. From there, we move on to the rear bumpers. You want to go with that drift bumper. Now, the reason for this is mainly because the back end, it had like a kind of mesh to it a little bit, but it wasn't all the way across like with the racer bumper here. So that's the reason why I didn't go for that. I just kind of went with the middle piece, having a little bit of mesh, plus it was kind of open on the ends. Kind of resembles the back end a small tad, but the drift bumper is my best option because it has that mesh in the middle, then also has a spot for where your exhaust will be. Also, the exhaust should be on the right, but it's not, it's on the left. But yes, the drift bumper is my best choice for the back bumper. From there, we move on to the engine. Now, this is what I found out in Craig Lieberman's video. I just kind of copied what he had, so if you guys don't like it, you can change it however you wish. We never really saw what was underneath the hood, but this is what I went with. So anyways, for the air filters, I kept it stock, as you can see here. After that, we move on to the engine cover. I went with the chrome engine cover because it was a chrome cover, pretty much, you know, chrome engine. The sad part is it has a black stripe down the middle, which someone pointed out to me, and I can't change that because it just doesn't change it. So you have to go with that chrome engine cover. And then for the strut brace, I went with none. I didn't see no strut brace. It probably had one, but again, on the pictures that he showed, I didn't see any. Also, you're probably wondering, why is it blue underneath? That is the secondary color. The secondary color changes the underneath hood option, pretty much the engine bay for the most part, as well as the stitching on the interior of the car, but I'll go over that in a little bit later. From there, we move on to the exhaust. You want to go with the dual exit exhaust. No, it did not have a single exhaust or, you know, big chrome tipped exhaust or titanium. It had a double exhaust, and again, it was on the right. And Bad Sport pointed that out to me in pictures. If you guys don't know who Bad Sport is, he's a good friend of mine. He builds a lot of Fast and Furious builds, and probably more accurately than me. I told him to start making videos, but he hasn't. And if he did, he would definitely be way more popular than me. That is for sure. But yes, I went with the dual exit exhaust. Again, I'll be showing pictures. You can kind of see that it has a dual exhaust in one of the pictures, and you know, just kind of matches the build. I was expecting to have something pretty sick, like a big titanium exhaust or big chrome exhaust, but unfortunately it doesn't. So yeah, just go with that dual exit exhaust. From there, move on to the fenders. You want to just keep them stock. I didn't feel like changing in the color of them, making them carbon, or even like having them cut out or something. I did that for another build, and you will see that in the future. So yeah, just for this build, keep them stock. From there, move on to the hood. You want to go to hood catches, and you want to put none. I didn't see any hood catches on the car, and in most of the pictures and parts from the movie, you don't see any hood catches, so yeah, just go with none. After that, move on to the hood itself. You just want to keep it stock. I thought maybe it had an open part of the grill there, but it is probably actually just a little open part close to the hood. So yeah, you just want to keep that nice smooth hood like that with the stock hood. From there, move on to the interior. Now this is going to pretty much be pretty basic. You want to go to the dash. You just want to keep that stock. Again, pretty much basic interior. Pretty much stock interior for the most part as well. After that, move on to the doors. Again, you just want to keep them with none or stock. So don't change them at all. Again, basic interior, basic car. From there, move on to the seats. You just want to keep them stock. I thought maybe they had like a sports seat to them, but they don't. In most of the pictures I've seen, you can kind of see like the rounded head seat top. So yeah, just go with the stock seats. From there, you move on to the steering wheels. Again, just keep it stock. They didn't have anything changed on that either. Pretty much the interior, stock. Outside, pretty much modified, I would say. From there, move on to the lights. You want to go to headlights. You just want to keep them nice old style lights. They look perfect and fit this build so much better than the RS version that I had. After that, move on to the neon kits. You want to go to neon layout. You want to do front, back, and sides. Then you want to go down to the neon color. And you actually want to go to the custom crew color, which I'm going to add the hex code on screen right now. I did this a while back for Brian's Eclipse. It's called the Kawasaki Green custom crew color I created. It looks really great on this car, as you can see here. I'm just going to kind of back out so you can actually see it. It looks absolutely wonderful. You get that nice green glow to it. It just fits the build really nicely. You can't get any better than this. If you do not want to use this option or don't have the option to do so, another great option, which is the LSC option, is the lime green. I think it does fit decently. It doesn't look the greatest. It's more of like a yellowish green than a green. And I definitely wouldn't go with a mint green. It's more of a bluish green than a green. So again, if you have the option to do the Kawasaki green, I would highly recommend it. Otherwise, go with the lime green. But me, that Kawasaki green just screams the green from the movie, in my opinion. And it just looks so good. From there, move on to the livery. You just want to go with none. Just a basic black car with green underglow and some fancy rims on it, and a decent spoiler and all that. It looks so menacing. It was like a kind of like a bad guy car, but in the sense they weren't bad guys. From there, we move on to the plate. You want to go with a blue and white too, and if you have an option to do custom plates, I will put the custom plates for each of Dom, Letty's, and Leon's cars from the end of the movie on screen right now or somewhere. If not, you can use whatever plate you have available if you have any. If not, just keep it stock. I have a 1327, you know, their family. That fits the best for me, and that's the one I went for. But yes, a blue and white style 2 is actually the best one. I think fits the best for the California style plate. Same respray for last. We move on to the roll cage. Now again, there's a lot of controversy in this. Letty did have a roll cage when she actually flipped her car. That was just to keep her safe, but in most of the cars, and I would say in all the cars, they had no roll cage, so I'd highly recommend not adding a roll cage. After that, we move on to the roof. You want to go to roof fins, and you want to go with none. Didn't have any vortex generators or any kind of roof spoiler, so don't worry about adding that. From there, we move on to the roof itself. Just want to keep it stock as well. Didn't change like the sunroof or put on any kind of like special rack or anything, or even like an antenna. You just want to keep it nice and stock. From there, we move on to the side panel. I went with the primary side trim. Now, the main reason for this is I'm going to flip on this side. If you go to the stock, you can see that bar sticking out. On this side, you can't really see it. It kind of blends in a little bit for some reason. But on this side, it sticks out like a sore thumb. Also, if you do the secondary, you can definitely see where it is there. You know, carbon as well. So yeah, I would definitely go with the primary. It just kind of blends in with the car, and you don't want that side little strip there. It throws off the build completely. So yeah, the primary side trim is the best option for this one. From there, we move on to the skirts. I went with the speed skirts, mainly because the back end kind of had like a more of a wider end to it, as well as it didn't go like jutting out or anything. It went kind of more straight down. And I think this one just fits really well for the body kit style that we have and the design that we have for the car. So yeah, that's why I went with the speed skirts. From there, we move on to the splitters. I went with the GT splitter. Main reason for this is because it has like that front cutout spot. As you can see where I change it, it kind of has that open front cutout spot. It also has the vents on the side, and it just kind of adds more definition to the front bumper. So yeah, the GT splitter is the best option in my personal opinion. From there, we move on to the spoiler. Unfortunately, they didn't add a super great spoiler for us, but they did at least give us the tuner spoiler, so that is my best option for the spoiler. Another good option that you could possibly go for, even though it's not connected, is the drift spoiler. It does kind of give that little bit of design to it, but again, it's not connected to the car. I wanted to go with something that's kind of reminiscent to the actual one actually in the movie, and the closest one in my opinion is the tuner spoiler. From there, we move on to the sun strips. You want to go with none because it didn't have a sun strip. After that, move on to the suspension. I want the sports suspension. I'm gonna go like this, kind of give you like an angle of the picture I'm gonna show on screen. You see how low it is to the ground? It has a decent wheel gap to it as well, and it just fits really well for the actual picture and the build, in my opinion. I wouldn't go with competition because it wasn't stanced, and I mean, you could probably go with any of these if you really wanted to. I think the best choice is the sports suspension, but again, that is my choice. From there, we move on to the turbo. You do want to add a turbo. I'm gonna see if I can put a kind of like little clip of the actual car hearing the turbo in one of the scenes. Again, the engine sounds and everything were actually dubbed over. They didn't sound anything like this because they were stock, but for the actual engine sound and everything in the movie, you know, I kind of wanted to add a turbo, just kind of get that blow off. And actually, if you do drive this quite a bit, you can actually hear the blow off. It is almost like the movie. It's very subtle, but you can still hear it every now and then. From there, we move on to the wheels. You want to go to wheel type. Now, before, I actually had the sport category chrome Farashi RR rims. These were the old build, and I thought they fit really well. You can also go with these if you don't like the ones I put on now, but I still think the new ones actually look even better than these ones personally. I asked Bad Sport because he had a different kind of rim on his, and he said that these remind him too much of Roman's Too Fast Too Furious Eclipse, and I'm like, yeah, I can kind of see that. So he went with different rims. I'm giving him full credit here. His rims that he actually chose for his build, if you go back to the street section, they are chrome, and they are the synthetic Z concave. They come in chrome, as well as they come with the rivets and the kind of like spoke design as well, and they fit the build really well. I really like these. I actually do like these more than the Farashi RRs, and they just scream the build. After that, we move on to the wheel color. Again, you just want to keep them alloy, kind of get that kind of like chrome outlook to it. As you can see, the change on the color there, it wasn't that small, and they had that kind of outline to them. So yeah, I would just keep them alloy. I wouldn't go with anything more than that. I mean, if you do a frost white, it sticks out too much because it's nothing like the chrome. Stone silver, again, nothing like the chrome. Alloy is closest to the chrome that you're going to get. From there, we move on to the tires. Tire design is going to be stock tires, as you can see here. No custom tires on that at all. From there, move on to the tire enhancements. You got to go with standard tires, but you got to go with standard tires if you're making a collection car. Mainly because Dom got his tires shot out by a shotgun in the movie. So thank you, Dom, for ruining the car, not having bulletproof tires. But I mean, it is GT Online. If you want to put bulletproof tires on, go for it. Me personally, I'm not going to. From there, move on to the tire smoke. You just want to go with that white tire smoke. I wouldn't expect it to have any other kind of tire smoke personally. And then last before the respray is windows. You want to go with that nice dark limo tint. Get that nice blacked out look. I know they probably did this for the stunt drivers and everything, but I mean, it just looks really, really nice. It just kind of brings the car together, and it just fits the build really nice. All right, and I'll see you guys in 2 seconds with a rolled steel primer color. Alright, and we're back. As you can see, I have my car in my primered out rolled steel. Pretty much what I always do for all my builds. That way you know if it's an LSC color or a custom crew color. That way I'm telling you what I use and how I use it. Anyways, let's get into the build. There's going to be 2 options, an LSC color or the custom crew color that you can add to your own crew or join mine, which it should be on whenever I actually upload this. So you're more than welcome to use it. But let's just get into the colors. So you want to go to the primary color, you want to go down to the classics, and you want to go up to the black. Now the color that was actually on the car was a 1994 Honda Civic black, just a basic black from the actual company. So you just want to do that. I wouldn't recommend putting on metallic because then you'll actually need to remove the pearlescent. For some reason, I think I can actually add a pearlescent to the classic black, which is very strange. But yes, if you do add a pearlescent, or if you want to change the pearlescent, I wouldn't. Just keep it black no matter what it is. So that is the classic black right here. As you can see, looks really nice. Again, great option if you do not have the option to the custom crew color, but I'm going to change it to the custom crew color, and the hex code will be on screen right now for the pure black. Here you go. And then as you can see, right now it's pretty dark, but once I actually hit it in 3, 2, 1, it just gets so much blacker and just looks so better. There's something about the pure black compared to the LSC black that just fits the builds that I do so much better. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to equip that just like that. From there, we move on to the secondary color. You just want to go down to classics, and you just want to put on the classic blue. Now what this is going to do is it's going to change the stitching on the inside, which really isn't that much of a big deal personally. The main reason we do this is for that one little screenshot I showed you in the engine bay. It changes the complete engine bay, as you can see here, to blue, which is really awesome, and I like that. So yeah, the respray option for the secondary color, again, I would say just be a classic blue. After that, we move on to the trim color. Just keep it graphite. I don't even know what it changes personally in the car, so yeah, I would just keep it graphite. And that, guys, that's it. That's how you recreate the 1993 Honda Civic EJ1 that a lot of people requested, and I'll put them on screen right now, so I think I might have forgotten at the beginning, but a lot of people requested this, and I'm doing a rebuild for it, so it's with a newer car. It turned out 10 times better than the Assault and RS. If you don't like this build, or if you think the Assault and RS is better, you're more than welcome to use that for your builds, for your car collection and everything, but I'm going to be using this. But yeah, I think the car turned out great. There's a few things I wish we could do, though. The one thing that I wish we could do is actually have a better spoiler, at least something that kind of reminiscence or kind of closer to the actual build from the movie. This one is okay. You still get the idea from it, but it doesn't have like the curvy, swervy like design to it that the actual spoiler had. Also, I wish whenever you actually turn on the like high beams, or you know how you can kind of put down topless vehicles and things by holding it right on D-pad, I wish you could do that for this car, but open the sunroof. Even just like kind of crack it a little bit would be kind of cool, like angle it. That would be awesome, but unfortunately we cannot. I think that's just a missed opportunity by Rockstar, but I mean, maybe it's just too much to code in or something, I don't know. But yeah, let's just go back to our spot. Alright, so we're back in our spot. Let's go outside. I am in passive mode and I am in a public session. There you go, nice and sunny out. I'm gonna do a little spin real quick. The car just looks so great in this pure black. I mean, I have no complaints with it at all. I do kind of wish we could turn the neon off on the daytime, but I mean, if you do that, you have to like get out of the car, turn the remote function, and then turn it off itself. But that green neon with that black paint job, it just screams this car. I mean, overall, I think this car turned out great. I hope you guys did think it turned out great too. So let's go for a little bit of a drive. As you can see, the car does not perform the greatest. It's not the greatest performing car. I mean, it makes sense. But if you listen closely, I'm going to see if I can get the blow off for you. You can kind of hear it. And if I posted that clip, which I was trying to, I mean, it sounds just like that clip that I posted. So it looks the part. It sounds the part. I have no complaints other than like the spoiler and the like little sunroof thing I talked about. Everything else fits really nicely. The back end, I wish we could have a little bit better of a back bumper, kind of fit better, but overall I am completely happy with how it turned out. At least we have an EJ1 actually in the game now, so people can stop complaining that I was using the Assault and RS for the EJ1. So now we actually have this. Alright guys, so that's pretty much where I'm going to wrap up the video. As you can see, I waited till nighttime to get this nice green underglow to show, and I also have Cheerful back there with me, as you can see. So we got 2 out of 3. I mean, that's not bad, you know. I just thought it'd be a nice little touch. It just looks so cool going down the highway. Anyways, I think that's gonna pretty much wrap up the video. So, as always, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment down in the comment section down below for what build you want me to do next. There is links down below for my Discord, Twitter, and also you can join the crew down there. The crew color again will be pure black. If you want it to be the Kawasaki green for the neon underglow, you can let me know about that as well. And that's pretty much it. So thank you for Cheerful for, you know, come with me on this little ending part. So hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the love and support. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. I'll catch you guys later. And I'm out. Peace.